So not always, when we talk about music theory, are we focused on pitches. We think about pitch for the most part when we're talking about music theory, and we think about analyzing chords and harmonies and finding what notes work together. But a very large part of music theory is also understanding rhythms and reading more complex rhythms. So I want to take a section here and go back to rhythms. We talked a bit about rhythms in the first class. We definitely did. I don't think we did in the second class because we were mostly focusing on the major scale. But here in this class, I want to just do this next section on rhythms, and particularly compound meters and how we notate those and how we read those and how we play those. So let's start by just playing something. So I want you to listen to this piece. You've probably heard this before. This is Greensleeves. It also has 5 other names. And let's just listen to it, and then I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Okay, so let's do this. Let's play this song again, but this time I'll just play like the first line or so. And what I want you to do is clap along. So just clap or tap or hit something or, do some kind of, make some kind of sound. Surprise me. I won't be able to hear it, so do whatever you want. But make some kind of sound and do it on the beat. Okay? So I'm just going to play this first line again and decide what you think is the beat and clap along. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm guessing that you probably picked one of two things. Probably most of you are clapping on the 8th note, like so. 3, 1, like that. Right? If you did not do that, you may have also found a bigger 2 in this, which you can do like this. Right? So you probably clapped one of those two. Now, what makes something compound is if we take that big rhythm, the big 2 that I found, right, which was clapping basically here and here, the halfway point of the beat. We took the big 2, and then let's divide that in half and go down to the smaller subdivision. If you remember from the first class, what we do is we took quarter notes, right? Let's find one. Here's a quarter note. And we can split that in half into 1/8 notes, right? 2 1/8 notes make up a quarter note. With me? 2 1/8 notes make up a quarter note. So if we took that big beat that I was hearing, what I called the big 2, and we slice that in half, what we end up with by going down to the faster beat that I think most of you probably clapped on, that adds up to 3 of those for every one of the big beat, right? So 3 of those for every one of the big beat, like this. Here's the quick beat. And here's the big beat. Right? So there are 3 of the faster pulse for every one of the slower pulse. So it's a 3-to-1 relationship. Thus gives us compound meter. Now, how many in this case, we're in the meter of 6/8. We're going to talk about meters in just a minute, but we're in the meter of 6/8, which means there are 6/8 notes, right? And typically, we can feel that in 2 if we want, which might blow your mind. Why? The reason is, in compound meter, we group things by 3s, and there are 2 sets of 3. And that equals 6/8 notes, but it also equals 2 big sets, right? What if we were in 9/8? We would feel 3 big sets of 3, or 9/8 notes. Now, jumping back to our little clapping or banging or hitting experiment, which of you was right, right? I suppose I should give you a correct answer. Those of you that clapped the 6/8 notes, the faster one, or those of you that clapped the 2 big beats, which of you was right? The answer is, you're both right. Because I didn't say clap the 8th note, in which case, if I would have said that, then those of you that clapped the faster one would have been right. And if I would have said clap the dotted quarter note, then the ones of you that clapped the slower one would have been right. But I said clap the beat, which in this case is a bit subjective. It's whatever you feel the beat is. So you're both right. Okay, so that's basically what compound meter is. It's when we take the big pulse and we divide it in half, we get groups of 3. And there's a couple different ways we can do that. And let's get into talking about how this works right now.